Good evening, everyone.
Welcome. It's Friday Live. It's 9 p.m. and we are back here on
How to ace your career.
So, guys, as you all know, we come here every Friday night at 9 p.m. to help you in some way to grow in your career. Who are these especially people whom we are really looking at, whom we can help? They are mid-age people with 10, 15 years of experience. They're going through various life stages where they're taking care of children, elderly parents. They want to also grow in their career. They have begun with that passion, somewhere they've lost it, they're stagnating. This stage of life, people come to us and we have been helping them to grow to ace in their career.
Yep.
I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach, and
I'm Dheeraj. I'm a life coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a relationship coach. And both of us put together, we create this company, ND Life Coaching.
So, guys, here we are once again to help you to do something that can help you in your career. So, while this live session tonight is an answer to the poll that you had put in, where maximum people shared that the emotional trigger that they go through and they go through those series of negative emotion is when they feel undervalued at their work. That's the biggest emotional trigger. Sorry for this. And that is why we thought, how do we help you to come out of that feeling and really pick yourself up and start acing in your career once again? So, to begin with, let's really try and understand, how do you know that you're undervalued at work?
First, lack of recognition. When your efforts, achievements, or contributions go unnoticed or appreciated by your managers, teammates, stakeholders, you don't know how your working is benefiting the organization. This itself is the first sign that you are undervalued at your work.
Correct. Second, of course, is the most important, one of the most important aspects. Why do you work? Is the money that flows in at the month end or beginning of the month, depending on which company you're working and how is it really going for you. So when you know that your pay does not match the value of your work and is not competitive compared to the industry standards, then definitely you're undervalued at work.
Third, either you grow or you perish. So the third reason, if you feel limited growth opportunity, which means your company is not having any opportunity for your career advancements, your professional development, and you're feeling stagnated, which means you're undervalued.
Then, of course, poor communication. Where there is poor or no communication with your manager. I remember one of my uh, clients, when she came to me, that was her challenge. She was saying that I would try and fix up one on ones with my manager, and she would never answer those one on one sessions. So, when your manager, your boss, your seniors stop responding to you, or there is bare minimum communication happening, which means you're definitely undervalued at work.
Today itself, I got call from one of the person saying that I was so happy in my company, but now I don't do work. They said, why? He said, now my current boss is constantly monitoring me, and he started feeling that it's that micromanagement. So when your boss is constantly monitoring you, and you start feeling that your skills and judgment are not trusted, you are undervalued.
Then, of course, unfair treatment. You may feel unappreciated because, in terms of promotion, rewards, there are people growing who have come after you and they're growing up the ladder, but your chance is not coming for the promotion. Or when it comes to rewards, you are not the one who's really getting all the due credit for the work that you've done. And also, it could be that when the work gets divided in the team, you are not getting enough work. Or rather, it could be important work.
Absolutely. The work which is going to actually get noticed and rewarded,
Yes.
you don't get that, that's unfair treatment. Now, one of the biggest reason why people come to us to get coached is to how to either get out or handle toxic work culture. Now, this is a negative work environment. Okay, friends, you all know that. I'm sure all of you are experiencing something or the other where you are humiliated publicly in meetings. The boss is playing, and that's so difficult. Okay, that's so difficult that you've been humiliated in meetings publicly. A boss is playing favoritism, or there is no teamwork, or your boss is constantly like a parasite sitting on you and sucking your blood, that's where you need to understand that you are being undervalued because you're still working there and you don't absolutely feel the sense of belonging or being there.
So many a times, when clients come to us, they say that I am not the favorite of the boss, and that is why I didn't get the promotion. I am not the favorite of my current boss who's just come in, or I am not the favorite of the boss who just got replaced. So someone new has come in and he has started taking care of the team. I was the favorite of my previous boss, and that is where everything what is happening, the way companies dealing with me has really, really changed, and that is where the toxic environment starts happening. And sometimes you actually don't feel a sense of belonging because there is no connection, there is no teamwork happening. Everyone is doing their individualistic game and they're competing with each other. You will never want to work in such kind of work culture. So all these things, when they're happening, you by default feel undervalued. And then of course, one very important aspect, especially for mid-age professionals, young crowd can still work, but mid-age professionals where there is a family to take in care, you want to spend some time with your spouse, you have elderly people to take care, you also know that your health has to be taken care. So when work demands consistently encroach on your personal time and well-being, your physical and mental and emotional health gets impacted, which means you're not really truly valued at your work, you are not being recognized for the efforts that you're putting in.
Now, the next thing is you have amazing skills and expertise. You're so good at it. But unfortunately, for whatever reasons, it's not being fully utilized in the role that you're playing currently. That underutilization of skill is another way to understand that I am absolutely undervalued because these skills, if they're not used, they're going to be, how do I put it? It will be of no use, it will be redundant.
Yes.
And then what do you do? And your entire career fails. So if you have skills and not getting used, you're undervalued.
And then of course, when the company changes, so organizational restructuring is happening or merger is happening. I remember one of my clients who got enrolled for that reason, that she was doing well in her current organization, and then the news of merger. And while the merger was happening, they all kept saying that don't worry, your jobs are going to be stable, things are going to be fine. But now every day there is something new that she's put up to, and they keep telling that we're still figuring out your role, we really don't know where to place you, there are other people in the team. And that is where that you're being undervalued, or probably, like I said, change in the leadership. So the CXO levels, there is some change, and the minute there's a new leadership come in, obviously a lot of changes happen, the way things are functioning changes, the process changes, and somehow now your role doesn't seem as significant as it was before. So, all of you listening to us, are you experiencing any of these or multiple of these things? And if that's happening, then you definitely are undervalued, and obviously you're underpaid.
Why? We cannot actually do anything about how the organization is functioning or your manager is behaving. You can definitely decide what should you do about it. All my life, that's one thing I've done. I've always focused on what can I do, and that's why I've grown in my life. So the question is, are you planning to still continue in the same role with the fear that you might not get a better job? What if another company also does the same thing?
Then, of course, so when it starts with first the job, which is external, and then you start looking at yourself,
Yes.
is something wrong with me? What is that is the reason that I'm suffering like this? People are ignoring me. And another biggest reason for not moving out is because you're too much in your comfort zone and you don't want to break it. So most of the times these are the only two reasons when people don't take that leap of faith and step out. One, probably they have self doubts, the confidence level is not that high, they are questioning their own abilities, and that is why they say that let me sustain where I am, I will not move out from here, something will change here and I will again get recognized. Or you're too much in your comfort zone and you say that, oh my god, People know me here, things are fine here. I know I'm not getting my due credit, I'm not getting a promotion. Maybe it'll happen next year. But you know what? Because people know me, nothing is going to go wrong. And I don't want to break that comfort zone, because if I get delayed when I come in, there's no one bothering. If there is some holiday I need, I can reach out to people. I'm also looking for work life balance. So at the end of the day, in some way, you're comfortable in what is happening out there, and that's why you don't want to break it. Such times, what actually happens? Most of us sabotage our growth in life, especially in the professional fund. And you know what? Women do it much more often than men.
So, in our experience over a decade now, coaching people, I think hundreds and thousands of people that we've coached, especially for their career growth, we have such astonishing examples of disparity in salaries. I'll give you an example. At the age of 45, working in one of the most top IT companies, the CTC one is drawing is just 25, 30 lakh. You're working in an automobile industry with the best industry, but your salary is 35 lakh and your age is 53. And I'm obviously talking about manager role, not blue collar. Now you see the disparity. This is very important. So if you feel you're undervalued at your work, then don't stay. Gather the courage, seek help, and move on, because progress equals to happiness. If you're not going to progress, you're going to stagnate. And once you get used to that stagnation, your career, your life, everything over. What I'm saying is, because 70 plus percentage of the time you invest on your career, and that's why you should be careful.
So, somehow people don't believe in the power of investing on themselves. They'll keep planning on the child's education. They'll keep planning on buying a house. They'll keep planning on having an amazing retirement. But they don't understand all of this are attached to you growing in your career. And if you're stagnating, it's time that you use your hard earned money on yourself.
Yes.
So many, I think most of the people hire an expert when they say that I've been making this kind of salary, I need to hand it over to someone who will be able to help me grow my money. But where is that money coming from, dear friends? Your hard earned money will get you 8, 10, 12 maximum percentage returns. But if you invest in yourself, the salary hike is 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 90% is what we have seen our clients get when they go through that coaching journey. And imagine that 100%, 90% hike in the salary is permanently yours, which probably you would have taken 10 years to make in your hard earned money. But unfortunately, you don't do that. You don't seek a coach who can help you to get reinvented, can help you tap your true potential. And that is why my sincere appeal and advice to you is, if you're stagnating in your career, if you're undervalued, then don't just sit there and wait for a miracle to happen. Please go out and hire a coach. If not, ask someone else, someone whom you can trust. But go there and figure out how you can rediscover your passion, how you can truly fulfill your potential.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I can say, that if you want that kind of job you desire, if you want the salary you deserve, then we have created a framework which we call as 5M to ace your career. This 5M we tried in our life, and thousands of people will help. We've given this framework, and I will repeat, 100% results people have got by applying this 5M in their life. So let's start with the first M. And the first M is,
So, Dheeraj, before we could just go into the framework, I'm again repeating this to you guys. Not all of you can hire an individual coach. Not all of you can actually go through workshops. But this is something which we have created for you at an absolutely throwaway price. You can go through that entire thing at your own pace. You can listen to others who are interacting in that workshop. This is that 5M which can help you ace your career. And you can start with the first M.
yeah. So the first M is math. Yes, you heard right. It is math. So if career is a journey, then how can you ace it without the most effective math? It's like, we always say, Tony Robbins always say, I meant clarity is power. Now, most of the people, when I ask them this question, what is exactly you want? Where do you want to reach? They don't have a question.
In fact, the first
They don't have
answer,
an answer.
yes, the first answers that come in, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this.
Exactly. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy. But what is that you want? What is going to make you happy? Where do you want to reach? What's your destination? It's like you have a Google. The first question Google asks is, where do you want to reach? What's your destination? So that's why clarity, which means where you want to reach in the next 3, 5, 10 years in your career. What is the role you want to play, and what's your dream job?
You know, something so fantastic. I had someone reaching out to me today, and she was saying that, 10 years of experience, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. She's cleared her professional course in the first go. And believe me, top 5-10% people actually are able to clear that course. She's done so well there, but she's stagnating in her career. And that is why maybe the education that you had, the belief you had in that education course today may not be helping you. Then what's your dream job? That's really very important to understand, because career is there for another 15, 20 years. And if that's not your dream job, if that's not something what you love to do, you will keep stagnating, and that will start impacting your health. So that's the first thing that we do in the map.
The second thing, as Google asks, once the destination is set, where are you currently? Where are you now? So basically, what does it mean? The second thing you need to figure out, where are you currently in respect of your dream job? Look at your skills, look at expertise, and look at your experience. This 3 is very important. And the third thing is, what's the gap? Because where you want to reach and where you are. Once you know the gap between where you are and where you want to go, how will you bridge this gap? So this is the first M, that is map.
Then, of course, the second M is mindset. Now, what is mindset? Mindset is that mental attitude with which you approach something. It's a collection of thoughts, assumptions, perspective, belief, experiences. And of course, success in almost every area of life depends on what we think about our own abilities and talent. Now, this mindset then gets reflected in your behavior, in your moods, and influences all your actions. That is why something called as mental toughness is what you need to have, and that is determining whether you will move forward, persevere in face of adversity, or give up at some point in time. There's this beautiful workshop that we had done on growth mindset. That's also something that you can really go through. One of our existing client, who is in his mid 40s, he had such an immense breakthrough in that growth mindset workshop, and there is so much of change that all of a sudden he's just showered with opportunities. And he was telling me today only that I can't just deal with it. Things are moving so fast. First interview cleared. He's waiting for an offer. Second interview is lined up from the big 4. One interview is done today. And all of them are competing on who gives him the first and the best offer, so that he doesn't look into the next one. Can you imagine that kind of change by just one workshop? So by understanding and shifting your mindset, you can achieve the results that you are after, and you can accomplish all your goals. It just starts from taking complete ownership and control of your career.
I think all these 10 years, one I've observed, that people ask us that why do you take 1 year to change and transform and get people the results? Because you know what? The biggest challenge comes in their mindset. That mindset from a fix to growth. That mindset from a loser to winner. The mindset of scarcity to abundance. That mindset of comfort to growth. Oh God, it takes time. That's why it takes time. But the moment it shifts, it's magic. It's just like this. Like I'm coaching a lady, 17 years, housewife, worked for many years, but after that, 10 years she worked, 17 years of break for motherhood. And then, it took me at least 9 months to change her mindset. And after that, it's been now almost 6-7 months she's with me. she is into a recruitment business and she is making lakhs of rupees every month, because the moment she shifted that mindset, everything changed. So second is mindset. The third M is momentum. I want you to listen to this carefully. Okay, momentum. Shifting your mindset is not easy. It took me a lot of time. It takes a lot of time for a client's mindset to change, because it takes a lot of effort and commitment. How can you create some new habits? Routines requires to shift your mindset. And that is where the momentum comes. Like momentum is built in by creating some rituals around your emotional, mental, and physical health. What are some rituals you should follow to create a breakthrough in your career? How will you hold yourself accountable to follow through? Consistency is a key to make a shift. So I wanted to show you something. I want you to watch this. Ritual, especially. This is where your destination is. This is where you're supposed to reach. You do something every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every 6 months, and every year you reach to a different destination altogether. That's the power of ritual, and that is momentum. Doing something every single day, and that's what we get our clients to do every day, and that's why they get the desired result.
So, in fact, I would also like to say one of my clients. So, becoming a mother for a woman is really not an easy task. And especially, I mean, in India, we have so much of help. We have parents, in laws. If not anything, you can hire house help, caretakers. But that's something so difficult when you're living in a country abroad, whether it's US, UK, things are common and same. Europe, everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You don't get house help. And that is where managing between your career and taking care of your children, taking care of your family, looking at the food, it's such a difficult chore to manage every single day. And you know what happens? Especially women take a step back because they want to let their husbands flourish. But when they go through that phase, the mental, emotional setback, they go into that phase of depression, they're feeling very low, they can't pick themselves up. And then when they want to restart their career, it's not really very easy. I remember one of my clients who came to me after 9 years and she wanted to restart. Bits and pieces she had worked between her first child and her second child. And then we started coaching. She got a job, she started doing it. And the first time there came a challenge with her children, what do you think would have happened? She took a step back.
Absolutely.
And then she took that voluntary option that she got. She sat back and she said that I'll take those 3 months to really figure out what I want to do. And through that entire phase, when we were working on this momentum, when she got a new job, you know what happened? The first week of training, her superior said, "You're in such a fantastic mindset, you know so much. Why did you apply for this role? There's one level above position, and I would want you to graduate to that." In 3 months, she was moved to her next level. And they have set milestones that in 1 year, she'll be 2 levels above with double the salary. That is the power of momentum. And then, of course, the fourth one is marketing. You heard me right. If you feel that people you're working with, especially your manager, should know all the good work, then you're absolutely wrong. And in these times, when you're working with MNCs, having one direct reporting manager, another functional manager, a thin dotted line to someone sitting in some different location and time zone, that's really being over optimistic. So it's very, very important to market yourself. Otherwise, you will always remain undervalued and underpaid. Now, people will say, that's where I lack. Most of my clients, when they come to me, they say, when I share these 5 M's, that I don't know how to market myself. I don't feel it right to market myself. When I'm doing the right things, I'm delivering on my job. Why should I market myself? And that is where we work on your mindset first, on why is it important to market yourself. Then, what are some of your abilities, your talents, your skills that you can highlight? Are you really marketing yourself enough to the right people to get the breakthrough you need in your current job or when you're applying for new jobs?
And of course, the last M is methodology. The strategy and action you will take to get your next job to grow in your career, which means how will you build a killer resume? Killer, okay? Whom will you network with? Which platforms you need to use to get your dream job? How will you prepare the ace? How to prepare to ace in your interview? Like all our clients crack all interviews. And how will you negotiate the offer?
So, we all know that we are lacking in networking. But where do I start? Whom do I network? What if people don't respond? Which event should I attend? Which webinar should I go in? Can I do something because I'm an introvert? I don't like interacting with
Yeah.
people. In spite of all these challenges, you can still network and you can get noticed for your work.
So true. I've been in the company for 15 years. I've not given an interview.
Absolutely.
God, it is so overwhelming, so scary. People freak out. And that's where we come into picture, that we help people to even help them to break or crack interview.
In fact, there are clients who say, last 10 years, I've not made my CV. I had prepared it 10, 11 years back when I had joined this company. Are you one of them who's been in the company for 10 plus years? You really enjoyed your job, you grew in your career, but today you don't see a career path ahead.
So true.
You're stagnating in your place. You're feeling bad that till yesterday you were a superhero in this organization and today people don't recognize you. All of a sudden you feel that new people have joined and these new people are getting much better offer than your current salary. If you're going through this phase, then you are actually undervalued. And that is why these 5 M's, which are going to help you recognize your true self-worth, help you recognize what's your worth professionally in this age, in this time frame, in your industry. Is there some other industry that you can go? Are your skills worthwhile to make a transition in your job? All these answers will come to you from this framework of 5M.
So if you use this 5M correctly, you can definitely be at a company where you will get the value you deserve in terms of recognition and salary. And if you are interested to know more about these 5M, reach out to us. We have a small workshop that we have done, and we have a product available for you. You can buy that and go through the entire workshop, and we can promise you, you follow that, and 100% you will get your desired result. We are not just trying to promote it, but we know, like currently the situation we are almost waiting period going on for coaching one-on-one, and it's not affordable for everybody. It's expensive. But then we thought, why not come out with something like this, so that in a very cheap value. I think it's very, very cheap that you can get a product, but it is priceless. I can tell you, so many people who have bought this product from us, this workshop that we have done, and they've applied, they all have got results. That is why we decided we can come today and share this with you, so that you can also ace in your career.
In fact, we would also say that not only that workshop, in the last few months, we have built a community of like-minded professionals who have come together, and that group is created on WhatsApp. So it is there on available on that small little thing that you carry every time. Every month we are doing workshops there. The growth mindset was a part of that workshop, and people are really benefiting from that. So please be a part of this community. Or if you feel that I want to first try, sit back home and see whether it's working, then pick up this 5M career to ace your career, this 5M framework. Believe me, friends, you will not stagnate. You will get to know your professional worth. You will feel confident to start going and pitching yourself, and you will not feel undervalued. You will be able to reach that place where you're recognized for what the efforts that you're putting in.
Absolutely.
So if you want to ace your career, you can reach out to us. You can DM us. You can put it into your comments that you need this workshop details, and you can be a part of that. That's all from all of us.
But please don't procrastinate. Okay? This is your life, your career, your opportunity. So don't miss this opportunity, because I know most of them are just going to ignore it. But people who will apply are going to change their life. So thank you very much, and see you